Hey everyone, and welcome back to the film Frontline, your ultimate go-to spot for the realest, most unfiltered takes on all things cinema. I'm so glad you're here because today we have some piping hot tea to spill. We're diving deep into the absolute chaos that is Scream 7. Grab your iced coffees and let's get right into it because this one is a bumpy ride. And honestly, we need to unpack the good, the bad, and the seriously questionable. Let's break down exactly what is happening in Woodsboro, or rather, outside of it. Our ultimate final girl, Sydney Prescott, has relocated to a super idyllic, borderline Hallmark movie small town called Pine Grove. She's running a quaint little coffee shop called A Little Latte, which is cute, but very much giving witness protection core. She's married to Mark, played by the endlessly sarcastic Joel McHale, and they have 3 kids. While we don't see their infant twins, we do spend time with her 17-year-old daughter, Tatum. And pause. Let's talk about that name. Naming her daughter Tatum is a massive emotional Easter egg, paying homage to Rose McGowan's iconic character from the original 1996 film. It's a gorgeous nod, but it also instantly raises our anxiety levels. We know exactly what happened to the first Tatum, and seeing Sydney's daughter navigate her own creepy theater kid boyfriend, Ben, definitely sets off some major red flags. The plot really kicks into high gear when Sydney gets a FaceTime call from someone claiming to be Stu Macher. Yes, Matthew Lillard's legendary Stu. The killer is using deepfake technology to mask their identity, and this is a huge pivot for the franchise. It taps right into the current cultural panic around AI. The fan base has been completely delulu for decades, theorizing that Stu somehow survived that heavy TV crushing his head in '96. Using that specific toxic fan obsession as a psychological weapon against Sydney is honestly a brilliant meta concept. There was a real opportunity here to dissect true crime culture and how terrifying AI can actually be when weaponized by the wrong people. Eventually, the Ghostface attacks start, bringing Gale Weathers back into the fold, along with Mindy and Chad from the recent sequels. They are now mysteriously Gale's interns. Let's be real, it makes zero sense and is purely a lackluster bridge to connect the previous films to this one. Which brings us to the elephant in the room, the glaring absence of Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. We all know the messy, real-world industry shakeups that led to this, Melissa being fired and Jenna leaving the project in solidarity. Their absence leaves a gaping void. The franchise had just successfully passed the baton to a new generation. Gen Z completely bought into the core 4, so stripping them away and violently pivoting back to Sydney feels like the studio hit a massive panic button. It completely alters the trajectory of the modern Scream era and leaves the story scrambling to justify its own existence. All right, it's time for the Film Frontline opinion. Let me just say it. This movie is deep in its flop era. As much as I adore Neve Campbell and will always bow down to Sydney Prescott, bringing her back to endure even more trauma feels exhausting and borderline cruel. The script pushes so much guilt onto her just for surviving, which feels almost disrespectful to the ultimate survivor icon. Kevin Williamson is an absolute legend for writing the original Scream, but stepping back into the director's chair for this one just didn't translate. The pacing drags so much it feels stagnant, the kills lack that signature suffocating tension, and the self-referential meta-commentary feels incredibly stale. The original Scream movies mocked cheap horror tropes, but Scream 7 accidentally becomes the exact kind of slop Wes Craven would have roasted. Relying solely on nostalgia isn't enough anymore. We need innovation, not just a rehashing of the past. It feels like the franchise is desperately clinging to its glory days instead of letting Sydney finally rest and enjoy her lattes in peace. But I want to hear from you. Do you think the Scream franchise needs to finally hang up the Ghostface mask for good? Or is there still a way to save this series with a totally new direction? Drop your hottest takes and wildest fan theories in the comments below. And if you love deep dive reviews and keeping up with the messy world of Hollywood, make sure you smash that subscribe button and join the Film Frontline family. Stay safe out there, besties, and I'll see you in the next one.